Welcome to MissouriNet.com. March Madness, it is here for high school basketball. As we turn the calendar now, we get into the meat of the basketball season for the boys and the girls. And joining us is Jason West, Communications Director with MSHSAA. Jason, weather acted up a little bit. Class 1 got all their districts complete, but we've still got some that are kind of hanging out there for classes 2 and 3.
We still have about 10 districts between the two. I think there's 6 in Class 2 and 4 more in Class 3 that will get finished up this evening and fill out those brackets and move on to sectional play this week.
Yeah, how does that affect those teams in terms of when sectionals start and needing to delay and push that back?
Well, right now, because we've had a few days of buffer time, everything will still be scheduled. I believe Class 1 is on Tuesday, and then Class 2 and Class 3 on Wednesday. If something were to happen in those Class 2 and Class 3 districts, then we may look at pushing that back to Thursday, but as of right now, everything's on schedule. One of the reasons for that is Class 4 and 5 districts are playing this week as well, and so having all 5 classes playing during the same week puts a limitation on the number of officials that are available, and that's one thing we have to watch out for if we start moving the sectionals and those games for Class 1, 2, and 3, is how that affects those 4 and 5 districts that already have those officials scheduled.
Yeah, do you build in buffers in the schedule just in case there's weather like this?
We try to just for this reason, just to give a couple of extra days there between the district play and when sectionals start. There's also some other paperwork like submitting stats and team pictures and things like that we ask those teams to do. So we try to give them a day or two to be able to get that information together before they start sectionals. So once they get into the bracket play of the state series, then they can concentrate on that and not having to concentrate on some other things. Well, if I win, I have to do this. If I don't win, those type of things. We'd prefer them to just concentrate on getting to the game and playing the game itself.
You mentioned we talked about officials. By the way, we're with Jason West from MSHSAA. We're talking about high school basketball. You'd mentioned officials. How are the officials chosen? I know I'm kind of throwing you for a loop here. I didn't think about this until now. But how are the officials selected for these games, and how do they get their assignments?
Well, contrary to popular belief, we don't start at the bottom of the barrel and just randomly pick people. But once an official registers for a sport, there are certain guidelines that they have to meet to be eligible for postseason play. Then they're also asked to provide us a list of dates that they would be available. For districts, each district has a draft where they try to get officials from that area that don't have long distances to travel, things like that may or may not be familiar with the teams in that area, to add to for a comfort level and those type things. And so for the district tournaments, many of the officials are selected by that district to work those games via a draft and that type of thing. Once we move into sectional play, those are assigned by our office, and Tim Thompson, who is our director of officials, along with a couple of other executives here in the office, kind of map that out. They've been observing officials all year long. We have other observers that don't work full-time in the office, but one of their responsibilities is to go to basketball games all over the state or in their region, and they recommend officials that they see that have been calling for a couple of years at least, and that would be eligible for postseason, and make those recommendations to Tim and those people, and then they assign them from there.
There any hazard pay for these guys?
Sometimes there might be a little extra if they have to go through 4 or 5 foot snowdrifts to get to the gym. But
And I was thinking more about the parents and the fans, but take it easy on those guys. They do a great job.
Yeah.
All right, now I had a spring sports meeting that I had to go to for my son who plays tennis, and the school handed out the little MSHSAA concussion handout. So I thought, let's talk a little bit about that, and because you might have some kids like my son, he's involved in band, and so he focuses more of his sports in the spring, first time he's playing. So there might be kids out there and parents that have kids that are playing for the first time here in the spring. Just talk about that concussion, because I think it's really important that awareness continues to be raised, and especially for high school kids too.
It's amazing. We get some sideways looks sometimes when some of the parents see that all of the sports medicine information that has to be put out there, and even with the band students and speech students, they can get hurt and get concussions just as easily as a basketball player or some of the other athletic events. And so we want to make sure everyone is educated, especially when it comes to concussions. Say you're going for that shot in the corner and trip and fall and hit your head on the court. We want to make sure everybody is educated and knows what to look for when it comes to a concussion. Also, they're up to date on the protocols on return to play and what needs to happen for that, because it doesn't just affect what happens on the court. When you have a concussion, especially a severe concussion, it can affect what goes on in the classroom, what can go on at home, and things like that. So we want to make sure everyone is as educated as possible on what to look for and what to do if the need arises.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed. No more of it's just to shake it off and get back in the game. It's something you have to take very serious. I mean, I know a girl that plays softball who had a collision near second base and has been struggling. I mean, has missed school. Now this is you're talking about sports in the fall, and they've been struggling with missing classes and trying to just concentrate in school. So it is important. And what I'm seeing is schools really being proactive in helping their athletic training staff, expanding those staffs, and really focusing in on this.
That's very true, and that's where I think that the education part of everything has come in. People know what to look for now and can help address those things a lot sooner than 2 or 3 days. Oh man, my head still hurts, I'm still having headaches, and then they go to the doctor. Now people are getting on it immediately and trying to catch as many of those symptoms as possible.
All right, Jason, thanks for your time. Jason West, the Communications Director with MSHSAA. We'll talk next week, and maybe we can start to gear fans towards getting ready for making their trip for Final Four basketball action and things that they can look out for.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us. And remember, you can always catch sports at MissouriNet.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.